Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to be looking at some custom Joker thugs. These are going to be the 6 different Joker thugs from the beginning of the Dark Knight film, all with the proper masks. Now yes, their outfits and bodies don't quite match the movie, but I'm still really happy to have this gang. This has been a goal of mine for a very, very long time, since back when Mattel made the Movie Master Joker henchmen. I want to give a huge shout out to 2 people. Number 1, David from Instagram. He lives in Canada and helped me get these figures. In the US, this Joker as Bank Robber Thug was a McFarlane Toy Store exclusive, and it was quite pricey. You had to get the bundle for $90, which makes the figures $30 each. And I sure don't need a whole bunch of Sonar Joker and Bane with his coat on. So I was only able to get 2 from that route. But it turns out, in Canada, they're GameStop exclusives, and they're much cheaper. They're $20 US there. So a huge shout out to my boy David for getting the other 4 for me. Now I also want to give a huge shout out to my boy Bone Johnson from Instagram. He 3D printed all these masks, attached them to different heads he 3D printed, and painted them for me. Finally, achieving my goal of having the entire squad of 6 Bank Robber Joker henchmen from the opening of the Dark Knight. In this video, we'll take a look at each of the figures, we'll check out their different head sculpts, we'll check out the original figure, accessories, sculpt and articulation, and compare them with a bunch of other Joker and Joker henchman figures. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let's see how we got to this point. So let's take a look at the packaging of the original Joker as Bank Robber. Now, I know this isn't actually a Joker thug, this is actually the Heath Ledger Joker disguised as a Joker thug, but to me, this guy will always be a Joker thug in my collection, just perfect for that use. So, the top of the packaging, 22 moving parts, McFarlane Toys, ages 12 plus. This is part of the Gold Label collection. A Gold Label figure is simply a retailer exclusive, whether it be Target or Walmart. This particular Gold Label is McFarlane Toy Store exclusive in the US, and a GameStop exclusive in Canada. DC Multiverse, the Joker, Bank Robber. Here he is in the package. 2 heads, Joker head and the Joker Thug head, 2 alternate hands, totaling 4 hands, collector's card, and display stand. One side of the packaging, the Joker Bank Robber from the Dark Knight. Other side, Joker Bank Robber. Bottom, his barcode is actually covered up, but it looks like GameStop's barcode. And to the back side, that fantastic Joker mask, which is sort of an homage to Pagliacci, which is sort of a clown opera. So, let's open them up, check them out, and then check out all 6 of the figures. Alright, now that this figure out of the package, here he is with all the accessories laid out. Display stand, collector's card, 2 heads, 4 hands. One thing he's missing is a gun. No officially licensed DC figures are allowed to come with guns nowadays. That's disappointing, but it is what it is. In the meantime, we have another Heath Ledger Joker figure to add to the collection. More importantly, this is a Joker thug in my action figure world. So let's take a look. Start with his face here. That is signature clown mask from the beginning of the Dark Knight. He has a sort of sad face, a big blue mouth, red nose, red cheeks, etc. The paint job is absolutely phenomenal on this guy. Not sure how well you can see it, but you can actually see the eyes sort of sunken underneath the mask. Flesh color in the neck, the green hair at the Joker. He has a nice pattern on his outfit. It is sort of hollow in here. You can see it kind of pushed down on him, but just looks excellent. Double jointed elbows, double jointed knees, brown dress shoes, looking pretty good. And I also want to give a huge shout out to my boy Albert from Instagram for making this Joker diorama for me. This is one of my favorite things in my collection, and I get a ton of use out of it. And a closer look at his face and head sculpt. I think that mask looks fantastic. I'm not sure how well you can see it, but they actually have painted eyes sunken in underneath that clown mask. And here's the figure broken down as far as he can go, with all of his removable parts detached. Now let's check out his accessories, and let's start with the boring stuff. Here's the display stand, to a McFarlane stand we've seen time and time again. It's a black circle, very thin, very basic. Now for his collector's card. As you can see, it's an image of this very specific Joker henchman mask from the opening scene of The Dark Knight, which actually turned out to be the Joker himself. Joker, bank robber from the Dark Knight. On the backside, so there's the description if you want to read that. Pause now. Now let's check out his hands. He has a total of 4 of them, 2 left hands and 2 right hands. Here he is with his first pair of hands. These are his gripping hands. And here's his second pair of hands. His right hand looks to be a gripping hand with a trigger finger. That's for the gun that he does not come with. And then his left hand is a fist. On my other one, it looks like his first 2 gripping hands are actually trigger finger hands. And you know what? I'll take it. This guy could definitely look cool with 2 different guns at the same time. But it's odd how I seem to have 2 different sets of hands with each figure. Some sort of factory error. Now for his heads. He has a total of 2 of them. One from his bank robber thug head from the beginning of the film, and then the other one, his main Joker unmasked head from the rest of the film. Here's the Joker with his first head. This is the masked head. To me, this is a Joker thugger henchman. And here he is with the unmasked Joker head. Now those are all the accessories that this Joker figure comes with, but it'd be nice if it came with a couple of other things. First of all, a Joker mask. The Mayfix figure came with a Joker mask like this, so I can use that for this Joker. You see the mask? It's just the front part. It doesn't actually attach on top of the figure, but you can hold it to the side as a nice accessory. Here's the Joker holding this mask. I think it looks pretty cool. Just a picture like this tells you he just took this mask off his face, exposing that he actually is the Joker. I remember one of the opening scenes of the film, he's sort of standing with his back toward you, holding that mask, and then the movie gets started. And it just so happens that I have 2 of these masks, because I got 2 of the Mayfix Joker bank robber figures. This will be really cool when you do some head swaps, throw some random heads on these guys, and you'll have a couple of Joker henchmen that just took their masks off. Unfortunately, I don't have 6 of these masks if I want to get the rest of these figures. Another accessory he should have come with are some guns. Now, it's not McFarlane's fault. Warner Brothers has a no-gun mandate. Any officially licensed DC figures cannot come with regular guns in any way, shape, or form. It seems like maybe they're a little bit looser on that than they were a couple years ago, as Mr. Freeze comes with his Freeze right now. But you're not going to see a pistol or shotgun or machine gun with any of these figures. McFarlane did make a weapons pack completely separate, so I pulled out a couple pistols from that. I just see this guy holding a pistol, supporting Joker, but you can give him all kinds of different guns. Here's 2 larger pistols, and then 2 smaller pistols. These are both for the McFarlane weapons pack number 1. Here's this Joker thug holding a smaller pistol, a perfect fit. So I pulled out this big old bag from the McFarlane weapons pack number 1. Yeah, I bought a bunch of those too. Let's get these guys armed. Alright, picked out some guns for these guys. Try to have some regular, normal modern guns. One has a pistol, a couple submachine guns, shotgun, assault rifle, more submachine guns, and another pistol. Looks good. They're armed, ready for combat, ready to fight Batman, defend the Joker territory, rob a bank, whatever. Now I did mention getting 6 of these guys. I actually got 7. 1 to keep the package, and 6 to open, making all 6 of the bank robber thugs from the beginning. So, my boy David ended up hunting these down for me at various GameStops in Canada. Much appreciated. They are simply just not available in the US like that. And once again, big shout out to my boy Bone Johnson from Instagram. We've been talking, chatting on and off. He has a 3D printer. He actually found the file for all 6 of these different masks. Printed out the masks, printed out some heads, put the masks on the heads, and voila, here we go. Finally have the entire team, my army of bank robber Joker thugs. Now I do realize the body type and the outfits are not accurate to the film. In the film, each one had a different suit on, some were fat, some were thin. But you know what? I'm really happy with this gang as is. So I'll take a closer look at all their faces. Now, this is the standard release. Joker as a bank robber thug, and I think the original sculpt and paint job is absolutely fantastic. Very good job. His code name was Bozo. They all sort of took names from Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. Here's one of the other thugs. This is what I would say is the most well-known thug, at least to me. This one is codenamed Grumpy. Here's the third henchman. This one is codenamed Chuckles. This is, I'd say, the third main one in the film. Here's the fourth Joker henchman. This one is nicknamed Dopey. Here's the fifth Joker henchman. This one didn't have a nickname. This is the bus driver, just showed up at the very end. And here's the final henchman. This one is nicknamed Happy. Now, you can kind of see that line going across his forehead. I think I cracked the 3D sculpt when I heated it up and pushed it onto the body. The crack kind of goes around to the side. Not super noticeable, but a little annoyed that I did that. I did end up going with the original design for Bozo, the actual Joker mask. He did 3D print and paint one for me, but the original one's just so damn good. Now, if I can get another Joker's Bank Robber Thug, I'd love to do a head swap, keep one as is, and then have 6 with the custom heads. Giving me all 6 of the Joker henchmen from the beginning of the film. Something that I've wanted since 2008, when Mattel was making their Movie Masters. So I have some 6-inch scale versions of some of these thugs. Not all of them, but 3 of them. Mattel officially released Joker's Bank Robber Thug, and then the Joker Thug, as they call it. I also have a custom of the guy in the far right. As you can see, 7-inch scale of 3, 6-inch scale of 3. Never got the whole gang back in the day, but I finally have them now, and in the scale that I want. Now they've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and his accessories. Now let's check out his height. From bottom to the top of his head, he's standing at about 7.2 inches tall, which is going to translate to just over 18 centimeters. Now for his articulation. Starting with his head here. Of course, you can rotate from side to side. You can look up and down about that far, not too much. Tilt his head from one side to the other. Shoulders on a ball joint goes out a little bit more than 90 degrees, up, down, around. Because he doesn't have that butterfly joint, or fake butterfly joint, whatever you want to call it, that McFarlane figures have, he's got kind of drop down shoulders as a result. You can see they can kind of go up, back down. Normally there's an extra sort of piece here, a circle, kind of keeping it in place. Not a big deal, it doesn't look bad, except for if you leave it like that. Bicep cut below that. Double jointed elbows below that. His wrist can rotate, and it is going to be hinged as well. His torso, he's got the soft goods overlay, a little bit squishy, kind of hollow inside of there. Now there is articulation in there, kind of give it a do a little bit of stuff, but you're not going to get any of that to stick, so it's pointless. What you're going to get anything out of is the waist here, rotate around, forward and back, tilt from side to side. Legs, complete does the splits. You can see it sort of pushes that in there. It looks kind of bad like that. Not a ball joint, McFarlane style hip joints. Rotation, non-existent. Forward, about that far. Back, not much. Double jointed knees below that. And then his ankle, forward and back. Rotate. Tilt rock, although mine's a little bit stuck. And of course, toe articulation. Here's my first image with the 2 Joker thugs. They're with Joker, stealing from the bank. But now, I have my full squad of 6. Here they are, breaking out of the bank. Each one has a duffel bag full of money. Joker army, indeed. And finally, here's a look at the custom 6 different Dark Knight Bank Robbers. They're breaking into this vault, stealing all the money to check them out next to some other action figures. And let's start off with some other Joker thugs or Joker figures. Here's the McFarlane Dark Knight Joker as Bank Robber Thug next to the Mafex version. I got 2 of these Mafex figures because Joker thugs. And here he is next to the Mattel Dark Knight Movie Master version of Joker as a Bank Robber. This is originally a Matty Collector exclusive, but then it got a wide release later. I got 6 of these Mattel Joker as Bank Robber figures. Did a head swap on one, that way I could have him holding the unmasked head. Nice army of Joker thugs or henchmen. 6-inch scale, and now we have the full 7-inch scale versions. Here's a look at all of my different Joker as Bank Robber Thug figures by McFarlane, Mattel, and Mafex. Now let's check them out. Next to some other officially licensed Joker thugs or Joker henchmen figures. The oldest and first one I can think of is this Toy Biz 1989 Batman Bob the Goon figure. I thought it was so cool to have sort of a henchman to work with Joker. Back in those days, you got Batman, Robin, Joker, Riddler, Mr. Freeze, that type of stuff, but you never got a thug or henchman. This guy will always have a special place in my heart as being the original thug or henchman DC figure. And pretty recently, I got a custom of Bob the Goon at 7-inch DC Multiverse scale. Big shout out to my boy OG Trilogy for making that for me. The next Joker thug or henchman figure I can think of is going to be from the Kenner which eventually turned into Hasbro Batman Beyond line. We have 3 different Joker thugs they made in the line, which I thought was really cool. You have a little Joker thug or gang or army. And then the guy on the far edge, it's like they actually made a little midget Joker thug. Yeah, these guys are scaled up way smaller, but those guys are definitely supposed to be little clown midgets. And not that I have a problem with that, but I guarantee if they made something like that nowadays, somebody would have a problem with that. In addition to Mattel making a Joker as bank robber thug in their Movie Master line, before that they made an actual Joker thug or henchman. I have 8 of them in front of you. The one on the far left was customized into another one of the Joker henchmen from the beginning, and the one on the far right has an unmasked head. And then the next Joker henchman I can think of was from DC Direct, from the video game Batman Arkham City. They made this Joker thug, and there were 2 different paint variations, giving you essentially 2 different characters. Of course, that wasn't enough for me. I had to already build them. There are 6 of them in front of you. DC Direct even made the main unique Joker henchman from the game. This is Mr. Hammer, a Siamese twin, and his separated other Siamese twin brother was Mr. Sickle and worked for the Penguin. I always found those 2 henchmen extremely unique and cool. After that, Mattel made Panda Man from the Suicide Squad film. He was part of their Mattel DC Multiverse line. And while these aren't technically Joker henchmen, DC Collectibles made Mime and Marionette in their Doomsday Clock line. These 2 figures aren't necessarily Joker henchmen. They actually came from the Watchmen universe and got incorporated into the DC universe. They did work for the Joker very briefly in that comic series, but in my action figure world, they are totally Joker thugs or henchmen. Unique ones at that. And finally, we have these new McFarlane DC Multiverse Dark Knight figures. The Joker as a bank robber thug. Now technically these are actually the Joker figures, but in my action figure world, they are Joker thugs and henchmen, and I can't wait to get the other 4 that I want to complete my little gang here. Now let's check them out. Next is some other McFarlane DC Multiverse army builders. And a lot of the ones I use for army builders were not intended that way. Here he is, next to the first one. This is the White Knight Joker. He was part of the GTO, Gotham Terrorist Suppression Unit, and you know what? I decided to make my own GTO. I got a total of 9 of these guys, did some head swaps, and I have my own personalized GCPD police unit. The next one I have, and this is the first true army builder they made, was the Robin Crow. They made 3 different variations, and I have a total of 16 of them. The next McFarlane figure that I army built was the Platinum Chase variant of the Injustice 2 Gorilla Grodd. The regular version had gold armor, and I used that for Gorilla Grodd. And the Platinum Chase variant had silver armor, and I got a few of these to use as his guerrilla soldiers and his guerrilla army. Then, I army built the Drifter Bruce Wayne from the Batman. Now this guy was definitely not intended to be an army builder. They made both the regular, masked, and unmasked versions of the Drifter. But I looked at his outfit, and I thought this would be a great Gotham City thug or henchman. So I got a total of 8 of these guys, did head swaps on 5 of them, and I have 5 extra thugs or gang members. I also army built the Riddler from the Batman. Now I was planning to get 6 of these guys, but I thought, I'll find them on clearance eventually, and I never really did. I don't think I've ever seen this guy for cheaper than maybe $18. And then here he is next to the most recent McFarlane DC Multiverse armor builders, at least that I can recall. This is Talon. Now specifically, this is the William Cobb version of Talon, which is a unique version of Talon, but it's not really noticeable. The differences are negligible. Makes for a great army builder for your Court of Owls. And finally, we have this Joker as bank robber thug. This guy is not supposed to be an army builder. It's supposed to be the Joker himself, but in my action figure world, it is a Joker thug or henchman, and I will get 4 more. Now let's check him out. Next to some other McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Here he is with the Dark Knight Trilogy wave. Collect to build Bane from the Dark Knight Rises. And here he is, next to the Dark Knight Trilogy, Jokerized Batman and Joker. They are going to be completing the entire wave, so we will be getting a Jokerized Two-Face, Scarecrow, and Bane in the near future. And then here he is, with the rest of this wave. Bane with jacket, Jokerized Bank Robber, and then Sonar Joker. These are the gold label Dark Knight Trilogy San Diego Comic-Con exclusive figures. Now rumor is there's going to be some New York Comic-Con exclusive Dark Knight figures. I believe we have Jail Cell Joker versus Batman with a Jail Cell diorama. And then I think that Jail Cell Joker may also get a single release. We'll know soon. Now let's check him out. next to some other recently released McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Here he is, next to all the different San Diego Comic-Con exclusive figures. We have the 3 gold label Dark Knight Trilogy figures. Then we have the 30th anniversary Nightfall Batman, the 85th anniversary Superman, the Page Punchers Sketch Mr. Freeze, and the Dark Knight's Metal Alan Scott Dread Lantern. Here's the Joker Thug, next to Abyss. Abyss is the only figure I have so far for McFarlane's Collector Edition, but the rest are on the way. And there's a Platinum Chase variant of each of those 3 figures, and I'm hunting for them. If anybody has a lead or has an extra, please drop me a line in the comments below. Then, next to the Blue Beetle movie figures, we have the regular Blue Beetle, the Battle Mode Blue Beetle, and then Carapace. And now, next to some recent McFarlane Toy Store exclusive gold label figures, we have Superman in his Unchained Armor, the Patina variant, Catman, Dick Grayson Robin, and Kyle Rayner Blue Lantern. Now let's check them out. Next to some recent Target exclusive gold label figures. Here's the Joker Thug, next to Superman vs. Doomsday 2-pack. And here he is, next to some Target exclusive Jokerized figures. Then, with even more Target exclusive figures, we have the Sinestro Corps Batman, Ted Kord Blue Beetle, Flash War Impulse, and Deadman. And now, next to the Target exclusive Flashpoint Wave, we have the Flashpoint Aquaman, Project Superman, and Flash himself. Here's this Joker henchman, next to the Injustice 2 3-pack, Batman, Supergirl, and Dr. Fate. And here he is, next to some recent Walmart exclusive gold label figures. We have the Vampire Joker, Batman and Superman, Captain Atom, Beast Boy, and Eradicator. Then, next to the most recent Batman wave, we have the Nightfall Batman, Batman Incorporated Batwing, and Batman Reborn Two-Faces Batman. And now, next to the goofy head sculpt Rebirth Superman vs. Ultraman 2-pack, here's the Joker Thug, next to the Big Bad Toy Store exclusive black and white accent Superman and Flash. Then, next to the 5th wave of Page Punchers, this is a Batman-themed wave, Fighting the Frozen. We have Batman, Robin, Batgirl, and Mr. Freeze. There's a Platinum Chase variant of this Batgirl, and I'm on the hunt for her. And finally, next to the most recent Build-A-Figure wave, this is the Titans wave, Collect-A-Build Beast Boy. Now let's check him out, next to some action figures from different various companies, so we can see how he fits in, both scale and style-wise, in case you have no lines you can mix him with. Since he's a McFarlane toy, they're typically the 7-inch scale. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the larger action figure lines I collect, and work my way smaller, and I'm going to include as many Joker and Joker-related figures as I can during these comparisons. Here he is, next to some McFarlane Joker figures, then next to even more McFarlane DC Multiverse Joker figures, and now next to some Jack-specific wrestling figures. Here's this Joker Thug, next to a container of sprinkles, and here he is, next to some DST or Diamond Select toys, then with some DC Direct and DC Collectibles Joker figures, and here he is, standing with some NECA figures, then with some Mattel wrestling figures, and now with some Jazzwares AEW wrestlers, and here he is, next to some Mezco 112 collected figures, then with some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse Joker figures, and here he is, next to some Make-Fix Joker figures, then with some Hasbro Marvel Legends, and here he is, next to some SH Figure Arts Joker figures, and finally, with some Jazzwares Fortnite figures. So overall, I am very pleased with this set. I want to give a huge shout out again to both David and Bone Johnson from Instagram. A lot of pieces to this puzzle, but I finally achieved the goal of having my bank robber Joker Thug gang. I love army building, I love henchmen. Joker's Batman's main villain. He usually has armies of thugs and henchmen, etc. And here's a few more to join the gang. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.